Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing good today and ready for our class today. Today, I'm going to present to you a little bit more about comparison paragraph, how to make one, and I will give you an example. And finally, I will give you a checklist on how to check whether your comparison paragraph is good or not. And now, as usual, let me share with you what I got here on my screen. Give me a minute to prepare this. And there you go. Yeah, we are now going to make a comparison paragraph. Remember, it's about a comparison and it's a paragraph, not an essay, okay? So it shouldn't be very long. And the points that you will need to compare will not be a lot. All right, and I will give you one example here, and the example will be about PC gaming and mobile gaming, okay? Now, first of all, we need to realize that every writing process consists of 3 stages. The first one is the pre-writing. Second one is writing. The third one is the post-writing. It's as simple as that. Now, the pre-writing one consists of several activities that you will do to help you think and find the materials. This is what you will do. First of all, list the differences or similarities between the 2 points that you have decided to compare. If you want to compare about, for example, the taboos in Indonesia and taboos in Africa, for example, then list all the differences and similarities of the taboos. This time, you just have to brainstorm and write in, in any random note. It doesn't have to be in a very good paragraph. Then, after listing all the differences and similarities, make a statement that summarizes the differences or similarities. We call this the umbrella statement, the statement that covers everything. Now, after you do this brainstorming, the pre-writing process, you should have ideas and materials that you will write in your paragraph. Then we go to the second stage, which is the writing stage. In this writing stage, what you will do is first write or state the summarizing statement. What we just did earlier, which is making an umbrella statement, this is what you will write first, okay? You write that at the beginning of the paragraph, pretty much. After that, you list all the differences and similarities that you have found, that you have brainstormed. And that's not the only thing that you have to do. You will have to elaborate on the support. Elaborate on the differences and similarities. The fourth one here will be making a concluding statement based on what you have created, okay? As I mentioned to you earlier, you have written your umbrella statement, which will be your topic sentence, and then you list all the differences and you elaborate the differences here further, or you explain more about it. And finally, it will be good if you also conclude this into one statement of your own. It's always good to end a paragraph with a concluding remark, okay? Then we get to the last stage of the writing process, which is the post-writing. In this stage, what you will do is pretty much check whether all of the elements are already in your paragraph. What are the elements? First of all, you need the umbrella statement or the topic sentence. And then you need to also have the differences or similarities. And third one is having the explanation or elaboration. And finally, the conclusion. So if these 4 elements are there, then your paragraph should be okay in terms of the content. Now comes the last part of the post-writing process, which is fixing spelling, grammar, typo, or anything that is basically mechanical in your writing. That's pretty much it. At this point, you already have a strong paragraph. Now, there's only one thing that I haven't mentioned here. What is that? It's the words that highlight the comparison, that highlight the differences or similarities between the 2 points that you compare. I will give you an example later in this one. Now, here comes our example. The example, as I mentioned to you earlier, is about the comparison of mobile gaming and PC gaming. What are the differences or similarities between the 2 types of gaming? Now, let's list it. First, you need to use different devices. For PC gaming, you use PC or laptop, and for mobile gaming, you use your smartphone. And then the second one, PC gaming, it doesn't have to use, internet, but for smartphone gaming or mobile gaming, you usually need to use the internet. So there's a difference in the connectedness of the game. And this is for sure. You will have different sizes in playing these 2 types of game, where you will need to use, you use a small screen for mobile gaming, and for PC gaming, it can be as big as you like, okay? And then there's also the control mechanism, which is simpler for mobile gaming, as you only have one small stop that can cover everything. While for PC gaming, it can be complicated because you use your keyboards or use your joystick and so on. And portability is definitely different, where you can play mobile gaming anywhere. For PC gaming, you can only do it either at home or in some specific places that have the power plug, or that have certain types of devices. Now, what about the themes or the titles of the games? You basically can find games on PC in your phones. If there is one PC version of a game, then usually have one mobile version. So pretty much there's no difference. You have adventure, you have first-person shooter, you have casual games, and so on. And electricity, yes, you need to use electric power for both types of gaming. So there's no difference there. Now, our job is, sorry, after listing all these differences and similarities, we need to find, what is it? One umbrella statement that covers all this. And what's the umbrella statement for all these differences? Now, I would compare the number of differences and similarities here, and it seems like we have more differences than similarities. So that's what I will use as my umbrella statement. Sorry. There are more differences than similarities between mobile gaming and and PC gaming. And that's what I will use to develop my paragraph. So at this point, we have completed the first stage, the pre-writing stage, listing the differences and making an umbrella statement. Now comes the second stage, which is the writing process. Here, as I mentioned to you earlier, I have to start with stating the umbrella statement, which will be the topic sentence of this paragraph. There are more differences than similarities between mobile gaming and PC gaming. After stating the umbrella statement or the topic sentence, I will also state the lists of differences or similarities here. As you can see, the differences include blah, blah, blah. And in terms of devices, mobile gaming uses good smartphones. Meanwhile, in PC gaming, we have to use PC or laptop and so on. So basically here, I state the differences. And I also give an elaboration to the differences here. As you can see here, I also use, as you can see, there is an explanation here, not just listing the differences or similarities, but I try to explain further about that. And here, what I also use is words like meanwhile, but similarly or likewise, which basically highlight the differences or similarities, highlighting the comparison pretty much. And that's what we need to use in a comparison paragraph. And finally, after stating all the differences and giving it a comparison, and I can end with a conclusion or a concluding remark here. In conclusion, there are more differences than similarities, pretty much repeating what I have said at the beginning of the paragraph. You can use this or you can not use this. It's your option. But it will be good to have this concluding remark as it makes it clear. It makes the paragraph clear. Now, I hope by this point you already have an idea on how to write a paragraph like this. And remember, everyone, we are now writing a paragraph. So you don't have to list all the differences and similarities that you have found if it makes your paragraph longer than usual, okay? An ideal paragraph needs to have around 5 to 10 sentences, probably more on the 5 side than the 10 side. So make it 5, 6, or 7 sentences. Now let's check what we have written, okay? Use this for you to check whether your paragraph is good or not. First one, ask yourself, does it have the summarizing statement or the topic sentence or the umbrella statement? If you still don't have it, then it's time for you to fix it and provide this summarizing statement. Then, does it have points that you compare? Does it have the differences or similarities? If it does, then it's good. Now, does it provide an elaboration to the compared points? If it doesn't, then you need to add the elaboration. You cannot expect people to just understand what the points that you compare, okay? You need to provide explanation for that. And now, does this paragraph use words like meanwhile, on one hand, on the other hand, however, similarly, likewise, or any other words that highlight differences or similarities? If you have this, it's good. If not, then try to use this to highlight the purpose of this paragraph. And finally, does it provide a concluding remark or not? Yes, I guess if you have yes to all these questions, it means your paragraph is already good. If not, then probably it's time to revise. All right, now let's check our own works, everyone. I hope this gives you an idea on how to create the comparison paragraph and how to check the paragraph that you have created for yourself. So I see you later in class to discuss the paragraph that you have created. Bye, everyone.